Hello and welcome back to Animation Movies Revisited, where we take a look back at some of the greatest animated films and rediscover why they've left a lasting impression throughout the years. In this episode, we're popping off to a Yorkshire chicken farm in 1960s England, where an authoritarian farmer and her dim-witted husband are plotting the deaths of many to make pies. Welcome to Tweety's farm, where a determined chicken named Ginger is attempting a most remarkable prison break. So grab your spoon for digging, beware of the dogs, and don't believe every rooster who falls from the sky as we break into Aardman Animation's stop-motion animated classic, Chicken Run. Famously known for co-producing the British stop-motion animated franchise Wallace and Gromit, Aardman Animations was founded in 1972 by Peter Lord and David Sproxton. Aardman is a world-renowned studio that uses stop-motion and claymation to create unique animated projects and some of the film industry's most expressive and outrageous characters. The studio cut its teeth by making sequences for the BBC series for deaf children, Vision On. After the success of their comedic Superman-like character Aardman, Lord and Sproxton used plasticine to create Morph, a neutral character able to transform into anything it could imagine. Next came the shorts Down and Out and Confessions of a Foyer Girl, as a part of the BBC's animated conversation series. The shorts combined recordings of real-life conversations with stop-motion animated scenes. Animated conversations also marked the point in Aardman's history when Nick Park would become a part of the team. Mesmerizing, funny, and perhaps a bit crude, the shorts showcased Aardman as a studio bursting with innovation and originality. In 1995, Lord and Park began developing a project inspired by director John Sturges' 1963 film The Great Escape. In Sturges' historical drama, a group of Allied prisoners of war planned for hundreds of incarcerated individuals to escape from a German camp during World War II. In Chicken Run, a determined hen named Ginger, voiced by Julia Sawalha, researches ways to break out of Tweety's farm before she and her fellow brood can become the savory contents of a piping hot Thanksgiving pie.
Oh, it's like an oven in here.
After several plans fail and all appears lost, a charming American rooster hailing from a traveling circus named Rocky the Rhode Island Red crash lands on the farm and offers to teach the hens how to fly. At first, Rocky, voiced by Mel Gibson, seems like a gift from the heavens. Later, it's revealed that Rocky is incapable of flight and has deceived the flock for selfish reasons. Meanwhile, the repairs to Mrs. Tweety's pie-making machine are nearly complete, creating a fight-or-flight scenario against a clock ticking down to destruction. Being Aardman Animation's first full-length feature film, Lord and Park were determined to dazzle audiences with the wonders of stop-motion animation on a grand scale for Chicken Run. Together with DreamWorks Animation, Aardman built metal armatures to serve as skeletons for each character in the film. Complete with multiple points of articulation, the armatures were capable of moving in any desired direction. After the armatures were measured, fitted, and fashioned, foam latex and silicone were added to the frame. These materials helped establish a character's body type and add distinct flourishes to their personality. Next, the team used a unique blend of plasticine to create faces for each character. Inside every face was a skull-like armature designed to help express a complex range of emotions. With all the parts assembled, the animators behind Chicken Run were ready to put their 25 years worth of experience to the ultimate test. A peep of celebrated actors from both sides of the pond helped create the cast of Chicken Run. In addition to Gibson and Sawalha, the film stars Benjamin Whitrow as the curmudgeonly Fowler, Jane Horrocks as the simple-minded Babs, Imelda Staunton as the skeptic Bunty, Lynn Ferguson as the scholarly Mac, Phil Daniels and Timothy Spall as the well-connected rodents Nick and Fletcher, and Miranda Richardson and Tony Haygarth as the evil Mrs. and Mr. Tweety. Aardman built an estimated 500 chickens to use while making Chicken Run, with the size of each character varying from one to the next. It wouldn't make sense for Ginger to be the same size as Mrs. Tweedy, so multiple versions of the primary characters were fabricated for the film. Imagine crafting a chicken with a distinct style and identity for an untold amount of hours, then doing it again, and again, and again, 500 times. Also, don't forget that making the characters speak requires various replacement parts. Stop-motion animation films at 24 frames per second, meaning parts need to be replaced or manipulated with every frame. If Chicken Run is 84 minutes long, the math required to calculate the production is almost too intimidating to comprehend. Let's do it anyway, shall we? 40 animators worked on Chicken Run for a total of 2 years. The finished film consists of 120,000 frames of animation. After crunching the numbers, each animator completed roughly 2.5 seconds of finished film each day. If you close your eyes and listen closely, you can still hear the spines of Aardman artists screaming into the void. Tragically, many figures, props, drawings, and other treasures from Aardman's various projects perished in a 2005 warehouse fire. Among the materials sacrificed to the flames were characters from Aardman's Creature Comforts, Wallace and Gromit, and even Morph, the studio's breakout blob of infinite identities. Almost everything Aardman created in its 30-year history was inside the building at the time of the blaze, including the pie machine featured in Chicken Run. According to reports, the blaze began in a ground floor office of the Victorian warehouse, linked to an electrical fault in an appliance. It pains me to think that something as simple as a faulty coffee maker could have contributed to so many works of art getting destroyed. Thankfully, Aardman rose from the ashes like a mighty phoenix and continues to create top-tier animated projects to this day. After they flew the coop with Chicken Run, Aardman went on to release stop-motion animated features like Wallace and Gromit: The Curse of Were Rabbit, Flushed Away, Arthur Christmas, The Pirates in an Adventure with Scientists, Early Man, and 2 movies starring the studio's beloved breakout character, Shaun the Sheep. Aardman's latest project, announced in 2018, is a sequel to Chicken Run, titled Chicken Run: Dawn of the Nugget. The film stars Thandie Newton as the voice of Ginger, and Zachary Levi as Rocky, the Rhode Island Red, with Jane Horrocks, Imelda Staunton, and Lynn Ferguson reprising their roles as Babs, Bunty, and Mac. Newton will replace Julia Sawalha as Ginger, with Levi replacing Mel Gibson as the voice of Rocky. Additionally, David Bradley, Romesh Raghunathan, and Daniel Mays will step into the roles of Fowler, Nick, and Fletcher. Meanwhile, Bella Ramsey will play Molly, while Nick Mohammed and Josie Sedgwick Davies will voice 2 new characters, Dr. Fry and Frizzle. Set shortly after the death-defying escape from Tweedy's farm in the original, Chicken Run: Dawn of the Nugget sees Ginger having finally found her dream, a peaceful island sanctuary for the whole flock, far from the dangers of the human world, reads the project's official plot description. When she and Rocky hatch a little girl called Molly, Ginger's happy ending seems complete, but back on the mainland, the whole of chicken kind faces a new and terrible threat. For Ginger and her team, even if it means putting their own hard-won freedom at risk, this time, they're breaking in. Sam Fell, who directed 2006's Flushed Away, is shooting the Chicken Run sequel from a script written by Carrie Kirkpatrick, John O'Farrell, and Rachel Tunnard. The movie has yet to set a release date, though it's a testament to the lasting appeal of Chicken Run that a follow-up film is in production, more than 2 decades after the original had taken flight. Aardman and DreamWorks' Chicken Run hatched a box office total of almost $225 million worldwide, against a production budget of $45 million. The film's success established Aardman as a studio capable of going beyond its short-form roots. The film was also a critical success after Aardman's signature style of banana-mouthed characters with an overbite charmed audiences across the globe. Earnings for the movie were split down the middle, with North American audiences contributing nearly $107 million of the film's total, with international crowds responsible for another $118 million. 22 years after the film's release, Chicken Run is still my favorite movie in Aardman's colorful catalog of quirky feature-length adventures. In addition to executing uproarious slapstick comedy with a zeal that harkens back to the days of Benny Hill and Monty Python's Flying Circus, Chicken Run brings plenty of sunshine to an otherwise oppressive atmosphere and premise. With a cast of lovable characters at the heart of an emotional tale, I can't help but become invested in Ginger and her friends making their great escape. It's cruel that the brood's salvation rests on a falsehood told by a charismatic stranger, and that circumstances are so dire the group has little choice but to believe the lie. This aspect of the story always hits me particularly hard, and never loses its sting once Rocky's deception is revealed. Chicken Run also boasts an inspired soundtrack composed by Harry Gregson Williams and John Powell. The music cleverly complements the film's whimsy and family-friendly approach to the mature subject matter, and chills when Mrs. Tweedy goose-steps her way onto the scene. Stuffed like a Thanksgiving turkey with heart, humor, and hope, Chicken Run excels at bringing light to dark aspects of the cycle of life. For this reason, and many more, I'll give Aardman and DreamWorks' Chicken Run 8 Buzz Lightyears out of 10. I can only hope Chicken Run: Dawn of the Nugget achieves equal fun while musing on what it means to value free will and establish a world where everyone is entitled to live their dreams. Never count your chickens before they hatch, folks, and never stop running in the direction of a better tomorrow. Cheers.